I, Dr. Ujjwala Desai, Assistant Professor, Pharmaceutics Department, welcome you all in the first technical session of today, which is based on innovations in life sciences and newer technologies, the future evolving roles of pharmacists. We rarely get this kind of opportunity to listen to the words of great knowledgeable speaker, Dr. Muhammad Salahuddin, Professor and Principal of Farooqi College of Pharmacy, Mysore. Before we start the session, I would like to introduce Dr. Salahuddin sir. He has completed his graduation, post-graduation, PhD from BL College of Pharmacy, Raichur. He started his professional life as medical representative after graduation and worked for Glenmark Pharmaceuticals and Bayer India Limited, Raichur. After MPharm, he has worked as product manager at Microlabs, Bangalore for about 1.5 years. During this period, he launched successfully 3 new products all over India for Microlabs Limited, Bangalore. He started his academic life from October 2003 and worked as lecturer and then assistant professor for about 7.5 years at VL College of Pharmacy, Raichur, Karnataka. From May 2010 till date, he is working as a professor and principal at Farooqi College of Pharmacy, Mysore. From December 2013 to June 2015, he was on foreign university assignment and served as assistant professor at Faculty of Pharmacy, Omar Al Mukhtar, Albeda, Libya. Dr. Mohammad Salahuddin has received 40 lakh grants for collaborative research work from DRDO. He has 2 patents registered, 29 publications with cumulative impact factor of 7.63 in national and international journals. He is an approved guide of MPharm and PhD at Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences, Bangalore. He has guided 17 PG students of RGUHS and 10 UG students of OMU Libya till now. He is presently serving at different bodies like Chairman, Board of Studies Pharmacy, RGUHS Bangalore, Assistant Editor for RGPS Journal, RGUHS Bangalore, Member of Board of Examining Authorities, Drug Control Department, Government of Karnataka, General Secretary, Karnataka State Pharmacy College Principals Association, Bangalore, Vice President, IPA Mysore Branch, Mysore, and many more. May I now request Dr. Mohammad Salahuddin sir to address the gathering.
Thank you, Desai madam.
Yes, sir. So you are host now. You can start the presentation.
Am I audible for you?
Yes, sir.
Desai madam for the wonderful introduction. Narendra Kumar sir, thank you for joining, and thank you to all the panelists. And in particular, I would like to thank Dr. Praveen Chaudhary sir for giving me an opportunity to be part of this wonderful morning of the STTP being conducted by the Modern College of Pharmacy, the AICT sponsored. Thank you, Rajendra Kakade sir, for nice words of wisdom, and also for sparing the time to be part of this inauguration and referring, and also he being one of the best friend of mine. So happy to share today the platform. Thanks to Dr. Praveen Chaudhary and to Dr. Vithal Chopde and to all the team members who are making this event more memorable. Once again, I would like to thank to all the participants. But before going, please do allow me to share my PPTs. Madam, is it visible, my PPTs? My PPTs are visible? Desai ma'am. Hello. Just check it out from the participants whether I got a message. Just tell me whether my PPTs are visible. Okay,
Yes.
let me go across. Is it visible?
Yes, sir. Your PPT is visible.
Yeah, please just answer me. Sometimes because connection goes off, so I need to get the answer. Okay, thank you so much, Desai ma'am. So thank you to the Modern College of Pharmacy for giving me an opportunity for the next 1 hour. I'm going to take you into the world of the digital. And the theme that was chosen by the Modern College for this ACT short-term training program is wonderful. I must tell that it is need of the hour to discuss that how technology is going to be in our life. Innovations in effective teaching, learning pedagogy, and research skill development. You imagine, for the last 10 years back, have we ever thought that we are going to talk about the technology. We are going to talk about something which is unimaginable. That is something we are going to take into our life. We are all going to get connected virtually. We never thought that the participants from all over the country, all over the world are going to be on one platform, attending the lectures at their own convenience. I am in my office in Karnataka. The college conducting is in Maharashtra, and the participants from all over the world. Imagine, we never had thought it, but probably the pandemic has made everything to think about it, that how best this technology is going to be in our life. So I must congratulate to the organizers for choosing this wonderful topic, innovations in effective teaching, and to make it more relevant. I have taken my own topic of innovations in life sciences and newer technologies, the future evolving roles of the pharmacist. If we are not going to discuss, if we are not going to prepare ourselves, what is going to be our future? Probably, I think that we are at the end or at the verge of finish, and the profession is going to take a transformation. So, though all those who wanted to be part of this growth, who wanted to survive into the profession, probably need to talk about the technology. Today, I am going to share some of the images and the videos, probably that will make you to understand that this technology is something which we have to inherit. We have to adapt, and then only things are going to work in our system. So what I feel is that now, particularly in particular, we all need to work on it. And please, for this, I am going to talk to you for the next 1 hour on the role of the pharmacist, which is going to evolve into the future. Before me speaking on all the relevant topics, let me make it very clear over here that the opinions expressed in this presentation is solely of my personal and not from the organization I am associated with. And most important, the information provided in this presentation is from the authenticated sources. And some of the images and videos which I am going to show to you all is only to make it more simple and understand. And this I am using it from the public domain. That's what I wanted to tell you. Okay. So let me go across to my presentation. I am going to talk about today about the technology in academics, how we have to use it. Probably I must tell that over the last 2 months, I'm speaking in various platforms, and I think this is the best platform I have used through the virtual mode, that how academics should adapt. And when we are talking about that profession is going to transform, then from where the changes that needed to come across, that is in the academics, and technology and its usage in the classroom. I'm going to speak about it. Technology in our pharma profession. When I talk about pharma profession, it relates to everything: community pharmacy, hospital pharmacy, clinical pharmacy, industry pharmacy, teaching, everything that is related to it. How we are going to survive. If we are going to adapt the technology, what way we are going to do it. I'm going to speak about that. That means it is nothing but simple way: survival of the fittest. Pharma and tech business, when we want to do a business, whether it is a community or the industry, how we are going to look into the future needs, how we are going to adapt and involve usage of the technology into it. That makes a difference. I'm going to speak about it more about the pharmacists of the future needs and the next gen pharma profession, the tech pharmacist. This is what I am going to give a take home message for all. Probably people who attend definitely do understand that we need to change our mindset. We need to change ourselves. Then only we are going to difference the impact in the healthcare system. The business has become the service now. You have to think that the pharma business, which was called as the business trade, it is now a service. And service means it needs all about knowledge, skill, and the technology. That is where, when we are talking about technology, we talk about innovation, we talk about research. That's where we are going to involve to it, and I am going to take up to it. Well, this one image will describe everything, which I'm sure that you all will agree. That means transformation of anything that was in the hard copy system into the digitalization. That is what we are going to transform. We are going to transform into ourselves, into our academics. And I will say that not just in the pharmacy profession, the change needs to happen in everyone's life, in your daily lifestyle, in your working pattern, in your communication. The transformation needs to happen. And for this change, if we wanted to bring it up in our life, we need to be ready for the next generation competition that is going to come. Which few of it I'm going to highlight over here for you all. Well, John Dewey has said that if we teach today as we taught yesterday, we rob our children of tomorrow. Yes, imagine what I have studied in the pattern, not the knowledge, in the pattern, if the same pattern of teaching methodology I'm going to use for the future generation, I'm justifying or not. This wonderfully John Dewey has said that whatever you have learned, upgrade that learning, upgrade that knowledge, upgrade those skills, and give it in a better form to the young generation, future generation. And that justification we need to do it as a present generation. If we are able to adapt, if we are able to use the smartphones, devices, that means we are fit enough to this. But what next after 10 years going to be, we need to discuss today. This is unimaginable thing, but we need to discuss. We need to be prepared for it, and probably if we could able to be prepared, probably we are going to be fit enough to survive in this competition of the healthcare. Well, I'm just going to highlight this from the Times of India's news headings. Why I am highlighting it, probably you all will just notice it, that virtual placements, fully online recruitment process help make jobs drive more efficient and cost effective for companies. You know, these are the companies which are rolling out online education or induction program for students, smooth onboarding, and they have taken students, given the remote internships, and more important is that fewer startups they have turned up, and these are companies which are Cognizant, TCS or Infosys, Wipro, they have given the ad, and this is of the Times of India. Why I am referring? Because average starting salary for freshers in this lockdown period was majorly very good enough. And what these jobs been offered, the condition being levied over is that skill sets. Companies identifying and hiring the talent who have the knowledge of emerging technologies, business readiness, and ability to analyze the complex problems. This is the one major thing which companies are asking. That means when I'm talking about the education, we need to involve these things to make it the ready graduates, ready to be hired graduates. More important, knowledge of emerging technologies such as the cloud computing, data analytics, and artificial intelligence are being given more preference. That means a computer engineer or any form of the, the employee who is looking for a better employment should have the knowledge of the future technology. That is what it has been highlighted. And whatever I'm putting over here, this is an cutting of a newspaper which has been published in the Chennai Times of India, and which has been clearly telling that if you are having technology, you will be given preference. And the most important is that the tests, everything has been conducted, interview has been conducted, and the job is work from home. What it is happening? Have we prepared for this? Work from home. Had every time we thought that I'll be sitting in a kitchen, I'll be cooking also, simultaneously I'll be doing my job. We never had thought. This was 10 years back, the story was different. Today it has been different. Why it has happened? It is because we had the technology we did not use, but we had the accessibility we did not use. But now, imagine whatever it has been said in that newspaper cutting, is that you need to be upgraded. You need to have the updated knowledge. You need to be well prepared for the competition. Now, imagine the system that is available in our country. I'm just highlighting the form of the education that we are giving. I'm just highlighting few of the images, the form of business we have, whether it is a community or whether it is an industry. Are we ready for this technology? technologies? Are we ready with the system that we have adapted? Probably no. We have to change ourselves to make our community, to make our next generation pharmacists or the country citizens to be the best to rule the world. And for that, probably usage of technology is the only answer for all the questions that arises and for all the problems, the solution for all those problems that are going to come in the future. And probably the image that it is there and to which we need to transform, we have to take a pledge today that yes, we need to be ready to take a transformation, and the transformation that we need to have it, I'm going to discuss over it. David Warlick has rightly said it that we need technology in every classroom and in every student and teacher's hand, because it is the pen and the paper of our time, and it is the lens through which we experience much of our work. That means whatever we have learned, make it more powerful with the technology to our upcoming generation of students, teachers, and the other resources, and to which we all needed to be prepared for it. And I feel it that what next we need to do it is that I have to highlight over here, for in particular, to all the attendees is that the education, when I am talking about the next business platform, when I am talking about the next change in the technology and usage of the business, I am talking about first it should be started from the classroom teaching. And the classroom teaching, when I am talking, how technology we have used, probably this is the pandemic has taught us all that, and it has made it very advent, the arrival, early arrival of the, all the usage of the technology. This COVID-19 has caused the future of work to arrive early. That's why if today we are able to use it, the online teaching, it is probably because this COVID has taught us. Today, if we are able to conduct the short-term training program of the sponsored through virtual mode, it is all because of the COVID. Otherwise, I never think that we would have adapted this online form of the education so early in such a way that we could able to come across to the platforms of the digital media, and we are going to discuss about the technology. Thanks to the God that though pandemic has been a pathetic, very disastrous to the country, to the citizens, but in one way it has made it to realize that survival of the fittest. You have to survive in any form. Whether you are still at home, you need to work. If you are still at home, you need to attend the class. If you are still at home, you have to take a class for the student of the next generation. And that's why, because of that, this COVID-19 has forced hundreds of millions of employers and the employees worldwide to engage in a sudden, massive, real-time experiment with the remote work arrangements. That's how we are today virtually being connected. But this virtual connection, how far it is, we have seen that the lockdown, when it has occurred, many of the students were not having the accessibility to the digital technology, or many of the institutions did not provide the technology itself, thanks to the other platforms like Zoom and all, which has given the free platforms for at least 30 minutes, and where the institutions have utilized it, and through which the connectivity between the teacher and the student, an institution and a student, and a parent and the teacher got very easy because of the platforms being available. But definitely, future is not going to be the same. I'm sure that the apex bodies are not going to work on the same age-old pattern of the recognition. Definitely, the technology is going to be one form of it. I do remember the words of Dr. B. Suresh. He said that, the president of the Pharmacy Council, maybe in future, we are not going to ask how many classrooms are there in the colleges, but probably, definitely, we will ask that to a teacher's lecture of online, how many students are following and how many of them are giving the upgraded results or the grades to that lecture, and how many followers are there. That's how the likes, the comments, the appreciations, these are all the things are going to be counted in future. That means you need to be future tech. You need to be inclined to adapt to it. Anyone who do not look into that adaptation probably is going to end up his career. On the plus side, definitely this adaptation of the COVID time, the technology, it is more helpful that at freedom, the student or the teacher is more flexible to conduct. Earlier, the college timings was from 10 to 5. Now it can be at 9 o'clock, in the morning or 9 p.m. in the night also the classes can be conducted. There is a flexibility and more streamlined, commutes are available. Apart from that, there is also a disadvantage of it. One is that there is a lot of distractions and disruptions. I do see that sometimes when I will be conducting, there will be missed calls in my mobile phone. There will be somebody sitting or standing outside my office waiting for me. These are certain distractions which maybe I may not be 100% involved to it into the lectures because of the physical lack of the interaction with the colleagues, or could lead to more of the anxiety grip. These are all certain problems. Definitely, when we adapt something new, we will have the pros and the cons, and we should work on to the problems to get solutions for it rather than criticizing and demanding and forgetting not to utilize that. I feel that we need to be pro to adapt to it. When I talk about the teaching, definitely we all should look into adaptation of the innovation in the teaching methodology. And more important in teaching is that the innovation in teaching is that we need to have the digital e-classrooms, which is already been shown in the images. And I could able to find that reputed institutions have already formed, they have established in their institutions. Some of the great teachers have established in their homes as the tuitions, as the private classes, and they are utilizing it. Probably we are late. Whatever the images I am showing over here, I couldn't find the Indian teachers conducting in such form of the classes. It is only I could find in few of the foreign universities where they have already adapted before the pandemic. Imagine before the pandemic, and now we could able to highlight that this is also going to be one form of the education system which we need to adapt. And this is the present time we need to adapt. Imagine the future time how it is going to be. I am going to tell few of the things also about that. This form of the classroom is going to be there, not just into the lower, the higher classes or the degree level, even into the lower classes. Speaking about the mobile phone, smartphone, tabs, the computers, the applications, the newer apps and the downloads, these are all the technical words. If you now today during the pandemic time, even to a 2-year kid, if you are going and asking to him, I'm going to tell you frankly, surely he's going to tell you that what is the meaning of app, what is the download, and what is all about the certain apps which are going to provide the information. They know that how to make a shopping about it. They know how to play the games into it. These are all certain things which has happened. And these are all, it is happening during the pandemic time. And this pandemic has taught all of us that education technology is the only one which is going to make us to look into the future form of the roles that are coming into our profession. That's why I am going to talk more about how we are going to adapt into our technology into our education, and then this education when we are going to adapt. Definitely, the evolving roles are going to be there for the pharmacist. When we talk about this type of education, when we are talking about this type of the technology being used into our education, imagine what form of the jobs are going to be there, which is already existing. We are just highlighting now due to the pandemic. What change it is happening in our professional? There is an exponential change in the disruption across the healthcare during the transformation of the future pharmacy. This pandemic has made everyone to realize is that the community pharmacists or the hospital pharmacists or the doctors, they are the major role player and the connectivity to all these people. I am talking about connectivity during this pandemic time. No doctor has visited to a patient, no pharmacist or no patient has visited to a pharmacy store, but still the connectivity was there, either due to telemedicine or telepharmacy. That is how the connectivity was possible. It is because of the technology. All those pharmacists were not well equipped with the technology. Probably they could not able to do a good business or create a big impact on the resources or the patients who look always possessive, progressive to those pharmacy stores which are nearest to their homes. And I feel that here we need to look into more about how the changes we need to bring it into our system. Probably the technology that is going to bring in our profession, whether it is a clinical technology that is occurring or through the artificial intelligence or robotics that I am going to speak now, we need to be very clear in the utilization of it. Day to day, these are all going to be the. We have seen that coming up most of the, probably in the these selling apps where they are showing that if you buy that machine, it is going to clean your home. It carries the dust, everything. Just put it on that robotic machine, and it just moves around in your home in every nook and corner, and it collects the dust and keeps the clean. That means we are into the generation, we are into the era of where the robots are being used. We are in an era where robots are going to be part of the human beings' lives. We are going to involve into it, and probably this is all what we need to understand, that probably the country's defense mechanism is also working on the robotic system. That is where we have to understand that robots are in our life and how we can use it. Artificial intelligence and all. I'm going to speak more on that. And this should also allow to shift the imprecision medicine to the precision treatment. That is how we are going to look into the change of this. And that's how we have to make ourselves for fee for service, then from the model into value-based model. That is how the transformation we need to bring up in our pharmacy profession. Well, researchers are developing some of the things that are happening into the research, and that is going to be part of in our life. That I would like to highlight. That some of the research are developing the smart mirrors. You know that uses the advanced cameras and that can detect your breath to detect the health variations and having workings also in some of the toilets. That means if anyone is having the bad smell, foul smell in their mouth, that can also be detected through the the photography, through the imaging technology. That is how sensors are available. Those are all the technologies have come, but our usage is still limited because we need to highlight into it and we have to use it. And multiple companies are testing and working on home healthcare bots and can perform basic services, while elderly works on Japan are already using the exoskeletons, some of the skeletons which are being covered into their bodies, and that helps them ease it into their working pattern, and less energy is being utilized. That's how they can do more of the work. And smartphones allowing to use the point of care and health diagnostic tools for conditions. And I must say that more of that I will be talking on that, on the how the apps are going to be utilized into the smartphone. And companies are using, some of the companies are using the gut microbiome to create a food as medicine approach to manage the glucose levels, particularly in case of the diabetic patients. In order to control the blood glucose level, some of the the companies have developed the microbiome, and that is creating the as a food as well as the medicine, and that controls the blood glucose level of the patients. That is how the technology has come. You can look into it. You can prevent taking the injections as insulin injections in the form of, which is very painful, and still the research is working on that. These are all some of the things, but still results are being awaited for it. Multiple companies are testing and working on home healthcare bots that can perform the basic services. As I told you, the cleaning machine has come, robots have come, washing machines are there, which works with just one clap, it gets on, with one clap it gets off, with just one clap it dries your clothes and then immediately it removes it. With one machine you just put all your clothes, it gets ironed, they are all ready. That is all your multiple household works that are there. They are being worked through the machineries and through the robotics, and they are the next generation which is going to be used. Smartphones are allowed to act as a endpoint care and healthcare diagnostic tools for conditions such as the UTI infections and all. We are using it for many of the things, smartphones. Let me talk about more about it. Well, I'm going to talk about the augmented reality and virtual reality. Yes, this is going to be the next form of the the um, the, the life that we are going to have it in our life. Probably we have discussed more about it, that how the virtual reality is going to be in our life. We all have used it when it was there with the mobile phones, where the people have used it only to watch the movies and 3D movies, particularly. But now I must tell that it has come into the profession, where sometimes, particularly in pharma profession, if the student is not able to go to the pharmaceutical industry, he can make use of this technology and can have an imagination right in front of him. The utilization and formation, the working pattern of the industry can be seen through this virtual or the augmented reality. And probably this is going to be the future, where we are going to look into more of the practical worlds through this augmented and the virtual reality. And I must say that some of the companies like the giant pharma GSK used AR tool particularly to create the migraine experience. Even in the research, these are helping a lot. And probably by using this technology, you can minimize the usage of the human health, human manpower, where the subject is being used with inducing the drugs. And I must say that the virtual world is more of the reality. It is more of the specific and the accuracy compared to that. So that's why it has been said that when you are using the technology, you are going to use less of the manpower, less of the the bringing down the problems that are being associated with the human being taken into the trials. That's how the companies are using it, and that are playing a very important role. Well, internet of things is another one that is there in our life, and I must say that this has an incredible potentiality in the pharmaceutical industry, which is creating the very importance of it. And internet of things is going to play a very important role in our life, because it has got the incredible potential to help the pharmaceutical industry, introducing with a network of the connected devices with monitoring sensors that can risk of the machinery manufacturers, as well as the guarantee of the precision that are protection by, with the help of the sensors detecting issues and making adjustments with respect to before and cause the problem. Internet of things has got, it's an aid in the manufacturing sector, particularly in the pharmaceutical industry, like the material tracking and also the management in the manufacturing process of the medicines. Additionally, this Internet of Things enabled data gathering devices can locate in shipping and receiving the stations that can collect the information from the RFID tags and barcodes and correlate the information from the multiple locations, including the production facilities, warehouses, to verify whether data is consistent. And I must say that with the amazing technology, even this Internet of Things in the pharmaceuticals, what we can say is that the future in drug making to produce the digestible Internet of Things devices, and these tiny devices that are the gadgets combined with the sensors could track the digestion and the absorption of drugs after swallowing to them. And imagine now, when we are having this type of technology, how it is going to play a very important role. Well, talking about the artificial intelligence and machine learning, and maybe this is going to be our life. Maybe this is going to be the inculcation into our profession as well as into our education system. And artificial intelligence is nothing but what? It is nothing but a human brain is been converted to the machinery's reading capacity, where it acts like a human brain. And I must say that it is more accurate, and it is more, memory carrying the devices, and it is going to play a very important role. And already this internet, the artificial intelligence has already been used by most of the industries. And to bring it to your knowledge is that, wherein I am going to show a few of the videos where the internet, the artificial intelligence has been utilized. There are almost 50 stores in America they have already opened, which are called as the human manpower less stores. And this is nothing but opened by the Amazon. There, nobody will be there in that human store. You have to go into it and just scan your mobile phone through the app. There will be a barcode. You have to just scan it. And once you enter into it, you have to pick up the items. And the moment you pick up the items, immediately all that get registered in your name of the item. Why it is happening? There will be number of hundreds of sensors that will be there in the shop, in the store, that are recording, taking the data from your mobile phone, and also you're reading your mind. And these devices, they scan it, and some of the apps that are available, they also show sometimes that these are certain things which are not available in your refrigerator. Even you can buy these items and you can get it. And that's how the moment you complete the purchasing of the items, the moment you keep it at the exit, you have to scan it again and you have to come out. After 2 minutes or 3 minutes, you get a message that so much of the bill is being, made for you for buying these items, and the amount is deducted from your credit card. That's how the artificial intelligence has already come in our life. The business has been transformed. And one such business store of the human race. It is already been started in the Kerala. And I must say that this is the next generation of business. When I'm talking about this artificial intelligence, how many of us are ready to adapt to this? And when I'm talking this artificial intelligence of the general business store, imagine this is going to happen even into the medical profession. When I'm talking about into the medical profession, pharmaceutical business, or the life sciences, it comes the community pharmacy, it comes even into the healthcare. There are many apps that are available where if you can download it, you can just scan your x-rays and you can send it to a doctor and the doctor sends the reports. Have you ever imagined that the operations, the surgeries can be done by the doctor sitting in one country and the surgery is happening in one country? And to most of the complicated cases, all things are happening virtually. That means we never thought this 10 years back, but now it is happening. But definitely, what is going to be next 10 years? What is going to be next 20 years? We need to definitely plan up. And I must say that what is going to be next 10 years or 20 years, we don't know. But still, we need to be prepared that probably we may be having like this. As I am going to tell that there is a chance that in our own profession, there is going to be an artificial intelligence that is going to play a major role. Devices in a classroom, we need to study the minds of the students. We need to study the mobile phones of the students, whether they are studying or not. I'm talking about in all these cases, we need to be very vigilant that this artificial intelligence is going to play a direct role in our life. That's how, when I have showed you one ad of the Tamil Nadu's newspaper cutting, that is telling that more of the employees are being hired through online mode. What is happening over here? A person is being hired from his bedroom. He's been hired in the morning, and in the evening he is being fired also. That means if you are not well versed with the form of the knowledge and the technology, definitely there will be a change into it. But definitely this technology is going to be a next change of difference that is going to be helpful in our life. That's how. And this artificial intelligence, which is going to play a very major role in our pharmacy profession with respect to particularly the data analysis, the data management, the healthcare systems to identify the errors, and more importantly, this is going to play a very important role in bringing up the communication. Yes, digital apps, this all you people know it, that how the apps are playing a very important role in our life. And probably a software engineer which used to develop the apps, and now what is happening is that the pharmacists need to develop the apps. And it is already been there. Many of the apps, if you go and see, whether the drug database, whether it is the apps related to your healthcare, whether it is the some of the apps related to management of reading of the prescription, all those things are being developed by the pharmacist. That means you need to be more inclined to learn more, to take up the more of the technology in our life and to bring up those changes. And that's how these digital apps are already playing and helping many of the pharmacists, many of the citizens, the patients, in order to come out of the complicated situation. And I must say that these apps are playing a very important role. Some of them which are going to help it out is that about the multiple medications, social networking to the patient apps, and these are all going to play a very important role. And these mobile apps that will be connecting the patients also helps in getting the health insurance. I have never seen that last 10 years back, an insurance agent used to come and talk only about one company. Now you have got tens of 20s of companies, and even you can compare those insurances related to health or related to life, and whichever is the best, which is suitable to you and to your family, you can buy it. That's how these apps are playing a very important role. And I must say that we are into the next generation to take up all those things. Yes, 3D printing, this is going to play a very major role in our healthcare system. And I must say that the 3D printing is not only going to be in the humans' lives, they are also going to be in the healthcare sector. And I have to say that the FDA has approved the first 3D printing, the tablet of the Aprecia Pharmaceutical Developed zip dose, that is patented technology for 3D printing drugs. And this 3D printing is going to play a very important role. Probably whatever we are seeing the shortage of the organs, probably we are seeing that a patient taking 10 tablets. Maybe in future, with the help of the 3D printing, the dosing of the tablets is going to be converted into a single tablet. The combinations are converted into a single tablet, and these changes are going to happen not just in industry, but it is needed to be done into the pharmaceutical stores also. A pharmacist needs to be prepared well, that whenever the technology comes, he needs to adapt. What we have got in our minds is that the pharmacist in a pharmacy store, a patient visiting with the prescription copy, he is giving it the medicines to him, and then he or she should silently go off without talking, because there are a number of people others standing, and he may not have the time to interact with the pharmacist. But this is not going to be the future. The future is that the pharmacist will get ample of time, because the pharmacist is going to be helped by his assistants as robots. They are going to provide him the patient, the medications, whatever the patient just he needs to feed it into the system, and the robots will get the medications from the racks or from the stores, from wherever it is, and they get these medications packed properly, wherein the pharmacists get more of the time to interact with the patient, to talk more about the medication therapy, to talk more about the dosage therapy, to look into the side effects associated, ADRs being associated to it. That's how we are going to improve the healthcare system. And that's why I say that always we need to bring up a change, not just in our education system, even in our profession. And that's how these 3D printings are going to play. And it has already started the preparation of the medications exactly induced, whatever the form of the medication, food or cleaner, the combination compatibility has been seen. And that right, the moment this patient demands it and the 3D printer gets the medication, that's how we need to be prepared. And this 3D printer is also going to play a very important role in getting the, many of the organs. Already it has started developing most of the prosthetic, the organs, particularly the providing of the ears and all, they are already been available. And another most important form is that the organ on chips. These are going very important role. Particularly, this is helping the clinical trials. In the clinical trials, where the chips being used in order to find out the data analytics, and these chips they play a very important role in providing the data to the researchers and helping them out to get the accurate results, accurate data with that. And that probably it is going to be the next form of the trials that are being used into the medication system. Well, I would like to highlight you this slide. Probably this is the future which is been depicted over here. I am sure that everyone will agree. In future, what is going to happen? Sam, a person enters into the bathroom and brushes his teeth with his smart toothbrush. That is going to be there in our life. And this toothbrush, it will detects and first sign of the streptococcus strain from his mouth bacteria. If it has been infected, it immediately detects, and his smart toothbrush sends a digital bacteria sample of the lab, which confirms an early streptococcus diagnosis within seconds, long before the symptoms are being shown. That means immediately the data has been transferred digitally to the cloud, and it also records before the symptoms are being recorded. It is already been stated that the person is been infected with the strain of the bacteria, and Sam is notified of the lab results, and early diagnosis via his voice enabled artificial intelligence avatar, which has been available in his mobile phone, which directs him to go to the kitchen and receive the tea automatically prepared by his smart kettle, and his smart fridge nudges him to eat yogurt which has the probiotic cultures. That means a person before getting infected, he has been informed to go and have a tea which has been prepared by his smart kettle that cures that, the infection, kills that bacteria, and also directs that there is something available already been prepared smartly through the digital form, because it is already happening through the artificial intelligence way or the machine learning way. That's how. And this helps the SAM's diagnosis automatically triggers an alert to his local health destination, where a treatment plan is developed. The local health destinations avatar connects with Sam to ask if he has any questions of the concerns. Imagine what I am talking. Probably it looks as if that, oh, this story is something which is not possible. We never thought that we are going to get connected digitally 10 years after we have this digital platform. But whatever I am talking about, maybe if not 10, after 20 years, this is going to be happening. The local authorities will contact the SAM and they will ask whether you have any doubt, whether your treatment is going properly. And leveraging his data, the local health destination 3D prints a single pill tailored. That's what I was talking about, the 3D printers you say. The printers will print it tailored to attack the exact bacteria strain and which can be easily metabolized by SAM's enzymes. That's how the pill has been developed, and that has been, once 3D printed, a drone flies. A drone flies the pill from the health destination to Samsung so he can take his medication before he leaves for work. All this is happening right from his early morning doing the toothbrush to having to the breakfast and then leaving for his office. Imagine the speed of the treatment that is going to happen in our life. It is going to be there. Be ready, people. Be ready, healthcare professionals, to adapt to it and to inculcate for it. When I'm talking about the 3D pill, who is going to prepare this 3D pill? It is the pharmacist. When I'm talking about the delivery of the medication through the drone, who is going to do it this? It is the pharmacist which has to be prepared to deliver this medication pill through the drone to the patient, and this is all it is going to happen. And a few hours later, the doctor follows up to check how it is and assess any symptom. That is how it is going to be checked. And Sam confirms verbally that he is not feeling any strep symptoms and is not toothbrush. Later validates that the strain has been eliminated. This is all going to happen in our life. Are we ready for this type of changes? And I spoke about this, all the technologies. Our pharmacy people need to be prepared, whether it is a community pharmacy or hospital pharmacy or the clinical pharmacies. They all need to be prepared with the technology. The samples that are being collected by the smart toothbrush, it sends the message to the healthcare professional, probably a physician, doctor, and it has been validated. And once it has been directed to a pharmacist, the pharmacist has to direct to his own 3D printers to get that medication and deliver that medication through the help of the drone to the concerned patient before the diagnosis is been occurring, before the infection is getting occurred. That's how it is going to happen. Well, what is the future of the pharmacist? In today's healthcare ecosystem, the pharmacy is a trusted, critical, and often underutilized resource. We are talking about, we are pharmacists, nobody checks it, correct? But as the pharmacy industry increases its use of enabling technologies, pharmacists may find themselves at a professional crossroads, either grow their roles, scope, and value, or face professional potential disintermediation. Okay, that is what I feel it, so that we need to be prepared. For the future of the pharmacists, need to specialize. Digitally, we need to be prepared. That's what I have told you, that help the patients and provides directly select and implement and manage the digital therapeutics and non-drug solutions such as the food and meet their needs. That is what we need to be prepared virtually. And medically, we need to be very much, that is, specialized in the treatment and management of complex diseases. We need to have more about it. And behavioral, we need to focus more on the mental and the necessary behavioral changes needed to stay complaint and address social determinants of the health. That is what we need to be prepared. How can we upgrade for the new employment? That's what I wanted to talk about it. We need to deploy the new tools and the services. How we can make it across. These new digital tools can play an important role in the future of care. For monitoring of a person's health, to helping individuals, as well as to access the more of the convenience care, to giving the caregivers peace of mind, particularly, and helping older adults remain in their homes rather than move to the individual institutional care. And organizations deploy them optically. These tools have the potential to increase the consumer satisfaction, improve the medication adherence, and also help the consumers, they track and monitor in particular, their health. And we need to redefine the types of the services. As I told you, our services was only limited to attend a patient, give the medication, and then tell them go. We have to change our attitudes. We need to attend more of it into a practical way. Probably the robots are going to help you out. Drones are going to help you out in delivering the medications. The 3D printers are going to help you out in the printing the desired medication that is being required over there. Then what actually is the role of the pharmacist over there? Probably the pharmacist role is more of talking about the therapeutic management, talking about the ADR reportings, talking about more of educating the patient on the medication. This we need to concentrate. We need to adapt. We need to come out of the trader's role to more of a doctor's role, to more of a clinician's role, to more of a pharmacist's role. That's how we need to, redefine our types of services. We need to expand the definition of location. That's what I said to you. There is no such going to be a place that, okay, my pharmacy store is located in so and so place. It is all about going to be how you are going to be connected virtually. I can say that I am a principal of Farukia College, but when I'm attending virtually, it is all on one platform. You're all associated attendees from different platforms, but virtually we are all one. And this virtual connection is only possible through the means of the technology. That's how the businesses needs to be connected through the technology. Hence, there is no going to be a form of the definition. That means you need to have your own website, you need to have your own app, you need to have your own delivery services, you need to have properly. See, when I'm talking about delivery services, Amazon made 2000, the $22,000 million per hour in the business during the lockdown period with just 70 to 20 people in their warehouses. How they have done it? All through the means of the app system. I'm booking some item into it, and it goes through the app to the stores, and immediately the computer detects it, and they tracks that item, and all the labeling will be done, and it comes to the warehouse exit point where it has been loaded into the truck, and it will be starting for its journey to get it delivered to the destination. That means if these people can take it into it, why not for the pharmacy? Probably I must tell that pharmacists need to change their mindset. There was a lot of hue and cry that there should not be any online pharmacy. I must tell that it is going to be the next form of the business. If you are not adapting it, you get perished to it. It is the need of the hour. As a patient, if the patient says that I want to sit at home, I want the medication at home, please try to deliver. It is your job to see that authenticatedly you are going to deliver it. You need to follow the rules and regulations in that case. Definitely, it is going to make a lot of difference to it. Evaluate new service and financial models. Definitely, you need to think about it, how you are going to evaluate the services, and you are bringing it into it. And that's where you have to plan up more of it, how these services can be improved in our, the profession. Create a robust health IT infrastructure. As I told you, when it comes to the institution, you need to plan up to have the e-classroom. You need to have the virtual mode of the classrooms where the teachers can get connected to all the students. And for that, you need to have your own platform of connection. Rather than having it, you need to have the subscribed version of the platform where students can get it. You can make a data matrix of it, that how the students have attended, how much time they have been logged in, how much minutes they are been on the cam or off the cam, and how many minutes he was listening, and what mode of the feedback he has given. All those things, these are all through the platforms. It is very much possible. We need to bring up those all technologies. When it comes to the profession, the community pharmacy need to change their mindset, adapt the technology. Having only a telephone and the pen keeping it over on the ears and doing business doesn't work. Sorry to refer to this, but this has become a very bad pattern. We need to adapt that. We need to be very sophisticated in our technology, knowledge, and also in our skill to take up this profession. That's why IT infrastructure, probably, as I told you, the pharmacists need to have the artificial intelligence sensors at their entrance. The moment the patient enters, then immediately his all problems related is being scanned, and then it gets displayed onto the system of the pharmacist, where he needs to dispense the medication according to the needs of the patient. That's what we need to get ready for this preparation, our development of the IT infrastructure into our business. Invest in virtual health technology and healthcare workers in its use. That's what we have to do. Identify and adapt the technology that enables the work of each team and function. Prepare your team. Today, if the Modern College of Pharmacy is able to do this STTP because their team leader, Dr. Praveen Chowdhury, has made their team members well versed with the technology, and today they could able to come out and talk about the technology and impart the same for all the professionals who are attending this. That's we need to upgrade our teachers, we need to upgrade our healthcare professionals, we need to upgrade our own employees in this case, and develop enduring human skills that make for a more resilient organization. That's how we have to prepare to ourselves. Well, Robert C. Perle has said that the best and most effective pharmacy is within your own system, within your own way of working style. And that's how it only comes when we adapt to the technology. Yes, Chinese proverb which says that when the world wind of change blows, some build the walls while others build the windmills. That's how we have to utilize. We have to go with the time. We have to utilize the technology. We have to think about more about how we can learn, we can make it across all these changes. And before I end, I would like to share one video. I'm sure it is going to be helpful to it. I'm just sharing the video for all of you. Just once again. Yeah, sharing the video. Is it visible?
AI, artificial intelligence, has some dangerous connotations, right? So I like to reframe it not as AI, IA, intelligence. I think we're going to see IA confuse all elements from life. It's going to confuse everything from a physician's standpoint about how I do some kind of workup and diagnosis. When I figure out a condition you might have, I'll be able to do it much smarter, it's more cost effective, and more timely therapy. Given how many mistakes we have, how many misdiagnoses we do, how big a problem medical mistakes are, I think AI or IA could be impactful world. It'll be something you have embedded in all your smart devices that will track your health. Healthcare practice of science. So robotic surgery, even remotely, is science fiction. Companies like Intuitive Surgical and then advanced surgical robots for over a decade. They require often the surgeon to be doing that in the procedure. It's even been demonstrated that I can have across the planet. So real opportunities we have to use AI, imaging, sensors. So in some cases, for some of these robotics that have become semi-autonomous, de-skill advanced surgeries to better the remote village. The way robotics, maybe a local country doctor can facilitate and enable for the complex surgery that could never happen. Because someone's patient may be there's on space station or Mars or in remote India, for example. So robotics blended with AI, blended with analytics and smart imagination, I think can really transform healthcare. The first 3D printed pill has arrived. The approval had been received from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration for Aprecia Pharmaceuticals. FDA had previously approved medical devices which have been 3D printed. This new drug, Sprinta, is made by Aprecia Pharmaceuticals to control seizures brought on by epilepsy. Aprecia Pharm to develop other medications using the 3D platform. The printing process of the pills allows layers of medication to be better packaged in more precise dosages. The 3D pill will dissolve in the same manner as the other oral medicines. According to experts, the ability to produce 3D printed offers a better way to personalize drugs for each patient needs, rather than using only one product that fits all approach. For the last 50 years, we have manufactured tablets in factories and shipped them to hospitals, and for the first time, this process means we can produce tablets much closer to the patient. Dr. Mohammed Al-Ahmedjan, a lecturer in pharmaceutics at the University of Central Lancashire. It would mean that medical institutions can adjust the dose for individual patients with just a simple tweak to the software before printing. Previously, such personalized medicine would have been extremely expensive to produce, said Dr. Ahmedjan. 3D printing works by creating an object layer by layer. In the case of medicines, printers are adapted to produce pharmaceutical compounds rather than polymers, which are more usually used. Such methods are already proving very useful in healthcare, with doctors using the system to create customized implants for patients with injuries or other conditions, and dentists, for example, use 3D printers to create replica jaws and teeth as well as other dental implants. Spreading will launch in the first quarter of 2016, according to Aprecia.
Yeah. So when the wind of change blows, some build walls while other build divisions. That's what I wanted to show through these videos. That we need to change it, whatever it has been shown. And thank you so much to Dr. Praveen Chaudhary sir, Dr. Vital Chopde sir, the management and staff of Modern College of Pharmacy, Nigdi, Pune, and also to the All India Council for Technical Education, and to all the participants for registering and attending and looking beyond the vision, looking for adapting to this technology. And I must congratulate to all the people who have attended. That shows that your mindset is prepared, that you wanted to take it to the future with technology to our profession. And thank you so much to each and everyone. I'm honored. Thank you, Praveen Chaudhary sir, Vital Chopde sir. Once again, back to you. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir. Now the session is open for discussion. I request delegates to raise their hands virtually so that I can unmute them and they can ask their questions if any.
Sunil bhai, please welcome. I hope I have not taken your time.
Sir, it was excellent session. Excellent.
Any questions?
Okay, so I would like to thank Dr. Mohammed Salahuddin for sharing your deep knowledge about upgradation of knowledge and technology to survive in 21st century. Sir, on how technology plays a key role in academics, pharma profession, business, and next generation pharma profession. Sir has also helped us to notice how COVID-19 pandemic helped us to transform from traditional teaching methods to digital methods. Different technological innovations like 3D printing, artificial intelligence, robotics, Organon chips were very well discussed by Sir. Sir very well explained what characteristics of future pharmacists should possess to deliver optimum health services to the community. Now I kindly request Dr. Salahuddin sir to accept this virtual bouquet on behalf of convener Dr. P.D. Chaudhary, Principal of P.E.S. Modern College of Pharmacy, Nigdi, Pune, and the Coordinator of STTP, Dr. V.V. Chopde, Associate Professor, P.E.S. Modern College of Pharmacy, Nigdi, as a token of appreciation. Kindly accept this virtual certificate on behalf of P.E.S. Modern College of Pharmacy, Pune. Thank you so much for your valuable time, sir.